Hi, the name of our paper is Qualitative Analysis of the Visualization of Information in the Design of the User-centric Interface. The authors of these papers are Beatriz, Lisbeth, Yadira, Alicia, and Miketzali. The main objective of this article is to analyze the use of information visualization for the design of user-centric interface, in addition to identify authors and relevant literature on the subject. Through a meticulous review of 46 studies that talk about information visualization, the most recurrent concepts were identified about what is understood as the design of information visualization. The methodologies applied for its production, the design patterns used, and the metric applied to it. The eligibility of the studies was based on criteria such as timeliness, application of information visualization to graphic interface, methods, design patterns, and evaluation metrics. The interface design for information visualization artifacts has been developed with existing resources from various areas that constitute it. In the area of graphic design, specifically in visual information, has been developed under certain design methods, design patterns, and metrics that have been adapted to existing circumstances, projects, and approach. Constantly changing and evolving since its inceptions. Therefore, this study intends to make a detailed review of relevant topics concerning what visual information design is, such as the concept of visual information, or VisInfo, the design methods applied to creative VisInfo, the design patterns already established for it, the evaluation metrics, as well as some graphic examples of its application in graphical interface and its importance. Well, visual information, we take three branches of knowledge that address visual information word search. First, graphic design, second, art, and third, computing. For these three branches, the main element that must exist when making a VisInfo is to have the data. Then process it and show it to a human so that he can carry out a reason process, so we can say that they use the same way to get to express their final message, such a poster, a painting, or programming. The main authors that we found was Mario Pérez Montero, Isabel Meirelles, Sergio Martí y Silvia Castro, Lee Mizar Salamanca, Xerox is not an author, but also gave us a really good concept of what is visual information. But for us, the author that we understand better, well, the concept is Mario Perez, and the concept is the information visualization is characterized by covering the basic functions of data storage and then communicated as support to reasoning. Then another main topic is visual artifact design methods. A design method is a specific procedure for solving a design problem. It is not a recipe or a foolproof set of mechanical instruction. It is a flexible instrument or tool. It can be said that it is a way to solve a certain problem or design situation. Design methods can generally be seen as a way of working to develop a design. As a broader concept, it can be said that they are each one of the procedure of the technique tools and instruments that help to achieve certain design. Some of the methods are conventional and normal procedures, design procedures. And these are some methods also that we find, but the most the one that has the better elements to make this method, to make a method, is the one of the ergonomic design of hypermedia application of Moreno. And the elements of this method are, first, you have to analyze something, then make a conceptual design, then a functional design, then a physical design, then prototype, then make the implementation, and then an evaluation.
The design pattern is another topic. Is the characterized by discovering and defining the most common problems in the field of interest, describing the main characteristics of effective solution to reach the goal set, helping the designer to move from one problem to other in a logical way, and allowing different paths in the same design process. By Christopher Alexander in his book, The Language of the Patterns. Is other topic. The graphical user interface, is the mode of the interaction between humans and device. User interaction is possible through the direct manipulation of the various graphical elements and the visual indicator that are designed to provide intuitive representation of an action, an state, or an application. UX is another topic. Together with the interface design and interaction, there is the user experience that represents the change in the very concept, the usability. Since the object is not reduce the improving user performance in the interaction between effectiveness and the instance and learning, but rather try to resolve a strategy problem of the useful of the product, the psychological problem, and pressure and fund its use. Because user the interface to interact with the system, the design of the information display is crucial for the success and folly of interactive application. The three authors agree about this idea. The particular relationship between UX and the information visualization design require more empirical studies to determine the influences that one has on the other in the interface design, to know in which elements the user accepts lies, specifically in software projects. Visual and interaction metrics. About the visual interaction metrics, the metrics and instrument most used for evaluating the design and visualization of graphical interface information are varied. Over time, the use of each of them has focused and measured some of the various variables present. The various approaches that have been tried to address and measure to effectiveness of the design and the visualization of information for graphical interface, writing from usability, human-computer interaction to value aesthetic, going through the understanding of the through cognitive process and the degree of the station of user which the interaction of system. The most mentioned metrics are usability, HCIA, and UX. The various graphical representation in 1D, such a graphical of mathematical function, were the first visualization of data to be produced on scientific calculation, and were some of the first exercise to computer scientists recognizing as example of the potential of the visuals of the information example, of the potential visual of information. After this, The representation of hypertext network in the form of math was the early foray into the graphic experimentation of information. Excellent examples of the valued common use application of information visualization include the following. Library research support the ability of information visualization to help research identify potential research questions. The increments in the power to the tell a story, ongoing management assistant to the modify system and the workflow, the better meet user need, the retained for making a more informed prescribed decision. This is about by change 2017.
The methodological description of the literature review. First, we research in the Web of Science the term visualization of information, where the search yield 408,004 articles. The criteria were selected by the following terms: highly cited, popular articles in the field, and open access. The result was 159 articles, but we only identified relevant just 10 articles. Also, we searched the most relevant authors of visualization information in the VLP. The first one was Zia-ur-Rahman with 51 articles. Then Edward Rolf Tufte, 46 articles. John T. Stasco, 39 articles. Ben Schneiderman, 27 articles. Daniel A. Kane, Catherine also with 27 articles. The conclusions. Well, within the exposed analysis, it is possible to highlight that the visualization of information has become an emerging area of study due to its relevant application as an analytical tool and help to improve and shape the interpretation of the data. In fields of knowledge ranging from the computer science to the humanities, and together with the technology advances, it constantly prevalence in different scenarios. Its varied application extend to infographic design projects in its most traditional support, such as the interface design of a screen or a monitor. Also, working with the data and the role of visualization stand out among many others for the planned intention of making the resources and opportunities offered by the various supports in which it can be visualized, stimulate knowledge and learning of users. However, the evaluation instrument and metrics to validate the efficiency in the user of the visualization of information is still the reason for more in-depth study. Due to the great diversity of elements to evaluate, suggesting more studies on what are the evaluation criteria and prioritizing studies that reveal the level of extension of cognition reached by the user. As a result of the study and methodological systematization of the design and visualization of information applied to the artifact.
Recommendation. Information visualization design projects go below the graphical representation of data, which is it is important to continue developing studies on what graphic elements and what characteristics and attributes really contribute to the human brain processing data more quickly, effectively, in a way. Use of and simply in the design of graphical software interface of the various exist projects to obtain the objective set.
We also want to thank Tuan to let us make this research. These are some of our references. And you can contact us by our mail to ask any question or make a point. Thank you.